Yaakov Avinu is running away. He runs from his brother Esav, who wants to kill him. The Midrash tells us then he's encountering a nephew who was sent by his brother who wants to kill him. He's running, and he's going from one thing to the next. Can you imagine in our lives how much we are running from one thing to the next? And Yaakov was actually doing this based on his parents ordering him to do this. It was based on an awareness. It was based on a choice. He wasn't just running because he was trying to avoid a situation. He was running out of strength and out of courage, and yet it was still a running away. And then we hear all of a sudden, before he goes to the next adventure of his life, before he's about to encounter his next difficulty, what happens? It says that Yaakov leaves Beersheba and he goes to Haranah, v'yifga b'makom. Look at the language of the Torah. V'yifga b'makom, pigi'ah. What's a pigi'ah? Paga, pagua. It's in Hebrew, pagua now is a terrorist attack. Paga is harm. It's being hurt. Why now? Between these bookends of him going from one place to the next place and running from this confrontation to this confrontation with people, with places, with situations, all of a sudden now where there's no one there, the Torah tells us that he had a paga. He had something that hurt him. He had something that made him stop. And what was that? It was the makom, the place. What's the place? The place is Hashem. And in that place, all of a sudden, Yaakov Avinu, he goes to sleep and he has a dream. And it's written that Yaakov Avinu is the one that we attribute Arvi to, the nightly prayer. And actually the word Rashi brings paga is pagia, it's tefillah, it's prayer. And he has a conversation. Hashem is telling him, Yaakov, I'm with you no matter what. I'm with you in those high moments and I'm with you in the low moments, but I'm also with you in the moments where there are no moments. In the moments where you have to confront yourselves, because you know what, you guys? Sometimes the most scary thing that we can confront is actually ourselves. And the most harm that anything can happen to us is actually the harm that we can do to ourselves. And there in that place of darkness, there in that place of the paga, pigi'ah, there's the place where a person can come and confront what they need to confront, which is usually themselves. And they can learn that this pigi'ah, this confrontation, this hurt, you know what this is for? It's to daven, it's to connect, it's to make me understand that there's a reason behind this, that I'm not just running from one thing to another because I'm escaping it or running away from it, but I have to know that there's a reason behind it. And the only way I'm going to have an understanding of the reason behind it is if I stop and confront myself. If I stop and I lie down and I even go to sleep and I look up to Hashem and I talk to him with all my heart and I say to him, Hashem, give me some clarity and some understanding. And there he has a dream. And the dream is what? Yaakov, there's a ladder in life. And there are times where we're going up and there are times where we're going down. But what is the most fundamental thing about this, Yaakov, this dream, is that you must always be planted firmly in the ground. You need to ground yourself. You need to be in your body. You need to be in your situation. And in that firmly planting yourself, you need to be constantly looking up to Hashem. You need to be constantly looking up to me and understanding that every single thing that's going on is for a reason, that there is a reason and a purpose behind it, and that I'm behind it. Because so often, we just run from one thing to the next. We escape from one thing to the next. We're surviving one survival to the next, and not we're understanding that these confrontations are to teach us something. These confrontations are to make us grow. And the most difficult confrontation that there is with ourselves. And yet that's where we find, where Yaakov has his understanding that, in this place where I confront myself is where I'm going to find Hashem. So with that, I'd like to invite you to take a deep breath and to close your eyes. You can either lie down or you can sit firmly in your seat. And I want you to feel, if you're lying down, that part of your body that's lying on the floor, that's planted, that's strongly being held by the ground. And if you're sitting, I want you to feel your feet touching the ground and firmly planting you on it. To know that on the one hand, I can be strong, yes, physically strong, and yes, mentally strong. I can be emotionally strong. I can find stability down here. And at the same moment, I have to be looking up and towards Hashem. So I can be grounded and I can also be lofty. I can be sinking and I can be floating up. It's this combination. It's Yaakov who is able to learn from his grandfather and from his father. It says that Yaakov Yoshev Ohalim, plural. Ohalim is tents. He took the tent and learned from his grandfather Avram of Chesed, and he was able to learn in the tent of his father Yitzchak, and he created his own tent of Tiferet, of balance, of beauty. It's taking a deep breath, filling your whole entire body with that connection, connecting the bottom to the top and the top to the bottom, of understanding that life's one of ups and downs, it's one of challenges, and in every single moment, in every single time, we have the opportunity to not only confront ourselves and grow and learn, but for surely to confront and learn and grow from Hashem. Shabbat Shalom.